Sourdough by Sloan. Let's talk about it. So my latest book of the month book that I got was Sourdough by Sloan. He is also the author of Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore, which I have not read, but fully intend to. This book is all about Lois. She is a young woman working in tech. She moves to San Francisco because she is headhunted for a big-time robotics job. She has a brain that's just that brilliant. And so she works in that and eats some kind of gel, nutritive gel called slurry, until she discovers this little takeout place where she gets the most delicious spicy soup and sourdough bread. All of a sudden, the takeout place has to leave, and so one of the head guys leaves the sourdough starter with her because she is their #1 eater, and she just has to feed the sourdough starter every day and bake with it. So that is where the adventure begins for her. So much like yeast within the dough, her adventure rises. For there is magic in the sourdough starter. Magic, I tells ya! She feeds it with flour and water, but also has to play special music for it every day. And then you can kind of tell the mood of the sourdough starter based on the designs that it itself bakes into the bread. Sometimes she even hears the starter sing in the middle of the night and bubble away happily. Sounds kind of wonderful. I'm not going to get too much further into the plot because, again, I don't want to spoil it for you. I'll just say that the hilarity rises as the story goes on. There are a few things in particular that I like about this book. #1, carbs. So many carbs! There's so many carbs in this book, and it's wonderful! You get into the detail of her making the starter, making the dough, letting it rise, eating the crusty bread, and it just sounds delicious. I really wanted to have a big hunk of crusty sourdough in my hand as I read, and was constantly sad that I didn't. #2, the other thing that I liked about Sourdough is that it had a woman in tech. You hear a lot about how there's a real lack of women in the tech industry, and here is this woman who is almost effortlessly at genius levels of technology. She can take the formulas for the robotics and just whip them right out in her head, and she applies that same sort of logic and intelligence to her sourdough starter, to building the oven that she can bake it in, and to taking her sourdough bread to the next level. Oh boy. The #3 thing I like about Sourdough is that it is witty and fun. It's not your average trajectory. It's not where she doesn't really face a huge crisis of identity so much as it just kind of develops, much like the dough does. How many analogies to bread rising am I going to make in this video? Lots. The friendships that Lois develops in the novel are really special. She meets with a group of other Loises who are completely different from her, most of them at least 20 to 40 years older than her, and they all find each other's company just wonderful. And she also makes friends with all the people around her, like the other guys in the tech world, the other people in the farmer's market. She just meets all of these interesting people and takes tidbits of knowledge and inspiration from all of them, and it's just so much fun to read. The sourdough starter did take a turn at one point that I was kind of like, I don't know, let's swing it on back. But I won't get into detail on that. I will just say overall this book is good fun. You should read it. Sourdough. Give yourself a nice crusty break of bread. Thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you next time, and I will try to go a little bit easier on the puns and the buns. Bread, get it? Heyo. All right, thanks. Catch you next time. Bye.